Hello, fellow YouTubians. In this visual essay, I would like to take you on a brief field trip into the land of pop culture using some basic ideas of visual theory as our guide. I'll be looking at 3 Rolling Stone covers released over an 8-year period, all featuring pop icon Britney Spears at 3 very different stages in her career. This first cover is from the May 25th, 2000 issue and features Britney at her patriotic best stationed in front of an American flag. One concept I will be using to analyze these covers is Barth's punctum, that which rises from the picture and shoots out of it like an arrow, grabbing your attention. Now, the punctum will not be the same for everyone, but for me, the punctum here is simply the colors of red, white, and blue. I would see them and they would capture my attention even standing 10 feet away from the magazine. Moving beyond the punctum, I start looking at Barth's studium, which is what helps us understand the picture in a larger context. It is the informational matrix of the picture, in essence, the world of the picture. I will be looking at this studium in terms of the 3 messages of the image highlighted in Barth's essay, Rhetoric of the Image. The linguistic message, how the text associated with the picture anchors us and directs us towards a meaning chosen in advance. The denoted image, in effect the innocent, literal image, and the connoted image, what the image is really symbolizing and representing. Here we have an image of Britney Spears dressed in the colors of the American flag, standing in front of the American flag. That's the denoted image. What is the connotation of this image? The picture is combining the concepts of Britney Spears and pop music with America, establishing her as the quintessential American icon and pop as the quintessential American music. This image is telling us that, as an American, we should know who this artist is. Additionally, patriotism is being sexualized here, placing the imagery of the American flag in the form of a stomach-bearing corset. This, along with the edgily frayed edges of the American flag, seek to represent a cool, hip take on patriotism and national culture. The linguistic anchoring of the caption, Britney wants you, furthers the concepts connoted in the image, the prosperous relationship of patriotism, sex, and pop. The caption references a political slogan while also placing the word want in the context of Britney's sexual presentation. The linguistic message seeks to establish a relationship with the viewer, but instead of Uncle Sam pointing out to us, Britney, with a come hither look, wants us to come into her Americanized pop world. This second cover, from February 21st, 2008, shows us a completely different take on the same pop icon. What first pierces me about this picture, the punctum, are the weary eyes as well as the framing of the picture. When placed in the mind's eye in juxtaposition with how we are used to seeing Britney, head to toe, showing off her celebrated body, this close-up jars and grabs me. The denoted image, the close-up of a face, means so much considering who's pictured. The black and white of the photo, compared to the vibrant color generally associated with the pop world, makes her look far more like a world-weary politician than a singer of dance music. It lets us know that the story inside this magazine will not be about Britney Spears the icon, but Britney Spears, the troubled person. Her hair and her body are cropped out of the picture, effectively desexualizing her. Sexiness, not a factor attributed to a fallen pop star. The linguistic message once again anchors Britney as quintessentially American, but in a far different way from the first cover. Rather than Uncle Sam or Lady Liberty, she is now simply an American tragedy. In a way, the magazine is claiming this specific kind of career failure, the celebrity eaten away by his or her own fame, as part of the American cult of celebrity. This magazine also promises to be situated inside this American tragedy, able to give us all the details, a promise which is reinforced by how close Rolling Stone's camera was allowed to come to her. In this third and final cover, released December 11th, 2008, not even a full year from the previous cover, we turn a complete 180. Once an emerging new artist, once a story of tragedy, now a comeback and a vision of career hope. What grabs me here is her face, turned away from the cover, seemingly caught in an unstaged moment of happiness. Once her face pulls me in, I see the denoted image, Britney Spears, happy and healthy, and I move straight to what the connotation is. This magazine is once again declaring her successful and in control by resexualizing her hair and her taut stomach once again highlighted. The linguistic message, yes we can, once again links her to America, but now aligns her with Obama's optimistic political campaign, not with America's great tragedies. If a country can turn around, why not a pop icon? The literary messages anchor this picture of Britney to the concepts of optimism, success, and relevance. So we've applied the concepts of different levels of messages, as well as the concept of the punctum, to these 3 covers. But what does this all mean in relation to Rolling Stone as a magazine? These images were made to be mass-produced in order to help sell the magazine. These images must perform 2 functions. They must be able to grab the attention of a passerby, and upon closer inspection, they must somehow convince the person initially grabbed by the photo that they need to buy and further inspect this magazine. The punctum in these photos is what will initially grab the passerby. Curious, I asked a few people what first struck them about these pictures, what pulled them in, and I got the following answers.
Patriotic.
The face itself.
I don't know, I guess her stomach.
Very patriotic.
I mean, the first thing I see is Britney Spears, hot.
Her eyes.
The first thing I notice is that she looks kind of troubled.
Again, like Britney Spears, looking attractive.
Her exposed navel.
She looks very happy.
Her hair.
So it seems Rolling Stone is utilizing Britney Spears in the hopes that she will act as the punctum of their cover, striking the viewer and catching their attention long enough so that they will further inspect the magazine. These 3 Rolling Stone covers exemplify the roles that different aspects of visual theory play in the utilization of a mass-produced image to sell the product of a magazine. Hopefully you found this visual essay interesting, even if you don't consider yourself a Britney Spears fan. Next time you buy a magazine, take a moment to think about what roles the linguistic messages, connoted images, or punctums featured on the cover played in leading you to make the purchase. Thanks for listening.